Hi, I'm Nicole. We're with Bill today. I will be interviewing you today and asking you a few questions to get to know and talk about the leisurely activities and experience you usually participate in, and if you have any goals you'd like to improve on or any goals you'd like to set. I will be videoing and taking notes if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any questions before we start?
Nope, not at all.
Alrighty. So what activities do you like to get involved in and how often?
Well, I like to do like athletic activities with my friends, Played hockey growing up, so I like to do that and go to the weight room just to make sure that I stay in shape one way or the other, clear your head.
Nice. So you're very involved in sports, I see.
I like to think I am.
Is there any other activities you like to get involved in other than sports?
Well, I like to play around with cars and I like just to tinker around with odds and ends, so I like to do odds crafts type of stuff.
Nice, okay. With whom do you usually do these activities with?
Well, the sports stuff is mostly the people I grew up with since high school. I played hockey with these guys. In college, I played hockey with them. So we've sort of stuck together as a group. We play on every Thursday night when we can, when we're not traveling or working. But that's, it's a good way to just to get out and spend time with some friends.
Nice. Are there any barriers to hanging out with your friends?
Well, yeah, work. Work's always a barrier, right?
Right.
What I do, I travel a lot for work, so it's not like you're always around on a consistent basis. So whenever you can, you try to make time to get there just so you can sort of clear your head and get a little bit of get a good sweat in.
Nice. All right. How would you describe the quality or nature of your recreational activities?
It's good when you can get there. The key is getting there. If you can't get there, it's always tough, but it's like getting there on a consistent basis is always tough. Due to work schedule.
Do you take it very seriously when you don't get to...
No, you can't take it serious. It's just sort of a break from the everyday. So I wouldn't say serious. When you get there, it's fun and it's serious to a point, but it's more about just, it's getting the change of pace.
Do you feel the effects of when you don't get your leisure time in?
Oh, absolutely. You can sort of feel yourself getting stressed or tightened up a little bit, but I think anytime you can get away and change a venue, it's always good. You got to be able to disconnect one way or the other. You can't always stay on.
Awesome. How would you say your self-determination is? Do you feel in your recreation? Do you have self-determination with, obviously you do tinkering with cars and all that mechanical stuff and playing hockey? What would the level of your determination be for both of those activities?
You like doing it. It's just, like I said, it's getting to do it. You try to make time. You always try to, do it when you can without sacrificing some other obligations you have.
Right.
It is a leisure activity, right? It doesn't always take front stage. So if you have other obligations, you need to address those first. But then if you have the ability to, you definitely want to try to keep on par with that.
That's wonderful. Are there any things that you usually use to organize your time so you're able to get these activities in?
Yeah, I think anytime you have an activity, you want to make sure it's scheduled so that you can sort of plan yourself around it. Spontaneity is good, but you also want to make sure that you have it scheduled so you can, you do it. It's one of those things you want to strive to. So it's mostly by email. We sort of have it scheduled in. We play in a league that plays every Thursday night in between, 9 and 10, or 8 and 10. So we always know when it is, and it's like it's on the calendar.
So you're a very scheduled man. You
I'm
like
a
your
list
list.
man.
You're
I'm
a
a
list.
list man.
Okay.
Yes. That's because of work. I'm always very structured because my schedules are very tight. I'm either catching a plane so I always try to tend to stay on schedule.
Right. So with that being said, for spontaneous time, what do you say that would be, or is there something you would really like to work on?
Weekend, I definitely want to work on that. Weekend is spontaneous time. So, you always try to, as being a list guy, I always have my list. So spontaneity tends not to be as frequent as it should be. But, you try to do whenever you can when you have a period of time to go do it, like a quick go out to dinner or, grab a game or something that, in Boston. So.
Is there anything or are there other things that you'd like to do with your friends, especially with this spontaneous goal that you have?
Yeah, it's always like you always want to try to get away for a longer period of time, right? As you get older in life, you tend to look back on what you wanted to do. And I think the reality is with work, you always work so hard, you never, you sort of miss some of the things you'd like to do. So I think as you start to get towards retirement, you'll try to spend more time with your friends or try to figure out what more so that you wanted to do.
Right. Would you consider yourself a healthy man?
I think mentally I'm healthy. I mean, physically, you always want to be more physically fit than you can. But again, that comes down to how much time you can spend. So,
Right.
Do you feel better when you do? Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Are you satisfied with yourself and your activities that you get involved with?
I wouldn't say satisfied. I think it's enough to get you by. I mean, as I get closer to retirement, I'll definitely probably focus in more on that. As the work schedule goes down, I'll have more time to do the things I like.
Wonderful. Would there, other than working on spontaneousness and working towards retirement and being able to be spontaneous and do the activities you'd like to do, is there anything or goals that you'd like to work on or set in order to go on?
I think it's more, you always want to reach out more to people that you hadn't had a chance to, right?
Right.
So you tend to stay close to your core friends, but it's the people that you don't see that often that you'd like to try to get, more time with. So, they're running busy just like you are, so a lot of times it's tough to match schedules, but I think it's just, keeping the interaction going with other groups of people that, you used to either know or hang out with. So it's always big.
Right. I agree. Well, thank you for your participation.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It sounds like you have everything pretty much. You're a list man, so you're sorted out.
I'm a list man, I am.
But I'll definitely check back in on you and see how that spontaneous activity or leisurely time goes.
Great. Thank you.
Is there any other questions you'd like to ask me before we end this session?
No.
All right.
I think I'm good. Have a good day.
I really appreciate it.
All right.